Alrighty guys, a little live video for you, and I'm hoping that you'll hear me through my Bluetooth today, so excuse maybe the interjection of maybe someone coming to tell me it's going to work. We're working with a lot of obstacles today. We have balustrading being put in, so this has been going on for the last 2 days. You will hear it probably in the recording, so I do apologize, but that's life. I also thought I'd jump on board because I'm going to do my weights class today, and as a result of doing my weights class, I thought, why not just stream it live? You guys can see how I do it, and maybe if you've got anything close by and you want to do some weights, then you can jump on in. I had a few requests from our our online group page. Someone saying, can I share some more of my weight sessions that I do? And I thought, why not? Today is my day on. I was going to do it yesterday, but my muscles were too sore from the previous 2 days of working on them. So I thought, you know what, this morning, strike whilst the iron is hot. And again, I totally apologize because this is going to happen for me for the whole day, that noise. If you're going to come join me, we're going to do some leg work, some arm work, some back work, and some chest. Here's the key. How do I stay motivated and how do I know what to do? I write myself some notes. Here's my plan for today. So I write my workout out. That is absolutely crucial, because if I don't, then I sit there and think, oh, what will I do now for my legs? Oh, what will I do now for my arms? And then I waste time, and then I probably don't do it. So have a plan. Here's today's plan. Legs, squats, and lunges. I am blessed to have one of these. You might have one too. I think lots of households have things like this. Guess what? If you don't have one, you are going to use the wall instead. Ball squats. Ball always goes in the mid back, because as I start to roll down, it's going to roll up to the upper part of my back. Okay. That's my cue for you. Or my form, my correct form for you. If I didn't have that, then that same action, I'm just going to show you it on the wall. I would get into the wall, I would slide down the wall, and I create the same tabletop or chair-like situation. Either way, it's still going to burn these quads. If you're coming with me with the ball on the wall, why do I like to do these as opposed to normal squats? I'm like most of you. My knees are good, but they're not always fantastic. And that's because I have flat feet. So my knees will roll in and they won't track properly. This is what I would prefer to do, because I can keep in full control now, and I can see my knees tracking over my ankles. And can you see that there's this definite, so I've got mirrors in front of me over here, and I can definitely see that my knees are stacking over my ankles. Why is that so important? It's important so I protect my knees. And that is often not the case when you do it freestyle. So ball squats, and I also can get much lower than I could if I was just doing this freestyle. Okay, so right down and all the way up. So come with me if you've got the ball. Big, long, deep ball squats. Straight down, straight up. If you wanted to be on the wall, you're going to hold until that burn is no longer bearable, and then you'll come straight back up for me from there. So straight down, straight up. My constant ball squatting people like me, I get, say, maybe 10 more out. So keep going for 10. Here's 9. Here's 8. Oh, we have some silence, not for long usually. 4. Bear with me. 3. 2. Perfect. You got one more. Awesome. Alrighty. So after I've done my ball squats, I would then go and I'd hit my legs again, because that way I get a little bit more work in what I've done. My workout says I want to do a reverse lunge with a knee-high kick. I know it sounds a little bit gobbledygook for some people, but I can show you it's easy peasy. A reverse lunge means that I'm reversing backwards. Okay, so if I stand here, I'm just trying to get all my face in with the camera, my leg goes back behind, and then I go up here. So straight back, and then I'm going to pull up into my chest. Step back, pull up into my chest. Now let's say I'm blessed. I have a little helping hand here. I have a ledge here that I could hold on to if I felt like my stability wasn't 100%. Lunge back, pull the knee up. Lunge back, pull my knee up. Now I can already start to feel a bit of burn going into my stable leg here. So let's see if we can get 4 more. There's 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to go on the other side, stepping back on the that first leg. So step back, pull through. Again, I have a wall here if I wanted to give myself a little bit of helping hand. Step back, pull through. Lunge back, pull through. So this is really great for the legs. You can really start to feel that warmth kick in. So let's see if we can get another 5. I tend to not for 3, I'll talk to you in a sec, 2, and 1. Nice. Okay, I'm going to give them a shake. And you can even hear my voice, heart rate elevation. I tend not to, when I train my clients, give them like 3 sets at 20. Because I know by the time I get to 18, they're like, oh, I'm getting really tired. It's a psychological thing. So I train basically to, I'm going to say to fatigue. If that's 5, it's 5. If it's 15, it's 15. As opposed to just putting a number on it. So you'll see and you'll think, oh, wow, how many more has Leesa got to go? Well, she's going to keep going until she's done. Until she fatigues. Now I'm going to keep hammering the legs. Let's go back to our wall squat. Either ball. Now let's say I brought some other things in. If you needed something else to use, you could possibly use a smaller ball. Okay, here we go again. Ball squats. It's telling me that my phone's not connected, so I don't know what's happening here. Squat and stand. And squat and stand. Again, knowing that I can go down. Now, I could fancy this up, and you'll see that sometimes I will change the same movement and make it slightly different. So here, what would I do to make this one different? I'm going to do these little micro pulses. Why? Because there ain't no rest here. Here, there's rest each time. So now I'm really caning them. Let's get 10 more, because I feel like I've got about that left of me. 9. And if you need to bow out, that's fine. Okay, you don't have to stay with me. I've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Come on out. I should have mentioned too that before, it's not important, well, not significantly important, before I did these weights, I did go for a walk. Why am I telling you that? Simply because whenever I train my clients, I always make sure that they are warmed up. So I don't always greet them at the door and go, hey, Julie, let's get stuck into those weights. I always make sure that they either have been for a walk before they've seen me, or they get onto the bike, okay, and get some blood flow into the legs, get some movement going. All right, let's go back to those reverse lunges. So step back, come through. Step back, come through. Again, I could have some little poles here if I needed to hold on to. Up to, again, depending on our balance. And that's not going to compromise the movement one little bit. Now remember too that we're now on round 2 of this. Okay, set number 2. So we're going to be a little more tired than set 1. Okay, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Okay, we've got the other leg. Reversing, so stepping back, bringing the knee through. Step back, knee through. I don't care what you do with these arms. Some people will have them on their hips. Some will be having a little hold on the ledge. Some have got hands across the chest. Not important. What's comfy for you? Excellent. Let's get out 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to go. Nice. Give me a shake. Again, weights with a little bit of, shall I say, speed, e.g. that. Heart rate, elevation. That's awesome. Blood flow, cardiovascular work. Now, would I do 3 sets? Would I do 2 sets? How many would I actually do? Again, depending on how much time I had. There really isn't a massive difference between doing 2 sets and 3. If I was time poor, I would just do 2 sets. I wouldn't waste that 5 minutes when I could be down onto my chest. What would I do? Some days I do just arms and back. Other days I will do chest and legs. But today I decided let's just do a whole body workout. We'll get it all done in one foul swoop, because normally I would do my training, my weights, anywhere between 3 and 4 times a week. All right, so I've chatted enough, so you've got a bit of a rest. Let's go again. Can we do a couple of full ranges? Remember, if you're on your wall, you're just listening to what those legs are doing. And again, as I said, because we've been here round 3 now, they are really probably screaming. So let's meet you. Pulses, those people who might have a ball. Let's get these guys out. And even if you jump into this part way through, you can always pick back up this program when it's finished. Okay, I'll upload it. So don't think that from it being live that I won't upload. Okay, I will definitely put this onto the page. So I can start to feel it working down the side of these legs. I can feel them. They're rock hard. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are up. Awesome. All done. These are a great investment. I don't know if you can get them, but you can do a lot of stuff with the wall. Downside, they take up room. They're really hard to store. Though if you've ever seen them in the studio, the best way to store them is to get a netball hoop, drill it into the wall, and they hook very nicely into a netball hoop. There you go, little handy tip. So we could do a forward lunge, yeah, or we could do a reverse lunge. So it's really nice to change this up, because in most cases we would do a forward lunge. Different muscle groups. Go, step back, knee up. How could I change this one? I could give it a kick, yeah? So there's lots of different, and this one I feel, my body's just saying to me, it would work better if I get this kind of runner's action with the arms. All right, 4, 3, let's fancy this one up at the end. 2, 1, stay in the reverse lunge. Boom, let's do those pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. Second side. Step back, knee through. Reverse that lunge, up. We'll start with the basics, and then we'll sneak into the, let's go kicking from here if you want to. So kick it, kick it, kick it. Kicks can be low or high. 5 to go. Get out 4, 3, 2, I can feel the burn. 1, we've got to hang down here. Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alrighty. I like to do a little kick out. Feels like I can get some life back into the legs. So here I go, tick, tick. I've done workout 1, wall squats or ball squats, reverse lunge knee high, ticked off my legs. Let's move up to the chest. Push-ups, you don't need anything to do a push-up except a little bit of space. I could do a push-up on my wall. So I really, if you want to give me the excuse that you don't have any room, I think you're telling me porkies, because I'm hearing it all the time. I don't have room to do my yoga. Everyone's in my space. I have a 3-bedroom apartment. I have very limited space. Trust me, you can do it wherever you want to do it if you really want to do it. Yeah? And you don't need fancy, expensive equipment. Push-ups, elevation with the hand. And I'm just trying to give you options, because you probably say, yeah, I know how to do a push-up. That's not rocket science. I agree, it isn't. So how can I make it different? I'm going to do an elevated hand. Do I go higher? I have blocks. You may not. You might have 2 books. Here's where you shouldn't have thrown out those encyclopedias, because they do come in handy for some things. All right, let me bring them over to this side. 1 arm up, 1 arm back onto the floor. What are my cues for safety in this one? Actually, I'll do it this way, because this is, you guys can probably see it easier. My cue is that when I come down, I want my elbow over my wrist. So I do not want to see myself doing that as a push-up. That is not a push-up. Okay, this is a push-up. Yep. This is a proper push-up. Straight down, straight up. So again, I'm checking out in that mirror, how is that form? Because it's super important. So I've got 1 arm high. If you are super strong and you can do this on your toes, knock yourself out. 5 for me, and I'm done. 4, 3, 2, awesome, and 1. Alrighty, so we've got to do this, yay, on the other side. What would I do in between? Because I'm not going to hit it straight away. Just pop myself to the wall, give yourself a little pec stretch. You're probably not too far away from a wall. You could do it kneeling, you could do it standing. We can do both arms. I can feel how much more loaded this side was. My arm in elevation. That makes a huge difference, popping that arm up. Some people may not have blocks, but they might be one of my Pilates people. You can easily do it on the ball. That's super challenging, because this guy wants to really travel around with you. I've seen people do it with a hand weight in one hand. Probably a bigger one, that because it'd be slightly more elevated, so maybe like a 5 kilo. These guys are pretty little, they're little 2s. Here we go again. Round 2, ding-a-ling. Off we go. Check out the form. All right. Again, as I said before, I don't count. I'm not into numbers. And you know me, I'm not the best counter on the good days. Pilates people know that. Because I start to look at how we're going, and if I can see bad form and I can see fatigue, then tick, well, we're done. All right, here we go. I reckon I've got 5 left in me. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. All right, back to my stretch. Much stronger in that arm. So I'm going to let it have a bit of a stretch first. I think we'll do another round of them. All right, off we go. Yippee-yi-yi. So can I tell you, and you know that I'm honest, this is not my favorite thing in the world. Why do I do it? Because I know how important it is. And I think I might have said in one of my other videos, I don't want to be the old lady who says, I can't go on that trip because I can't lift my suitcase off the carousel, or I can't get up the stairs in the, you know, Colosseum or wherever I'm going to visit. I'm not stable on my legs. That is not going to be me. I'm going to be independent and I'm going to be strong, and I'm going to be able to say yes to everything I want to do when I am in my latter years, even in my young years, because I'm young. All right, I'm just 21. All right, here we go. I can feel it already. All right, I got about another, I reckon I can get 5 out. 4, 3, 2, awesome, and 1, perfect. All right, I'm going to really cane them. No rest for the wicked. I'm going to rest after. And they say it's plenty of time to rest when you die. All right, boom. Let's go. 2, 3. Oh, I got to spread that arm a little bit more. 4. Let's get 4. I reckon that's all I got. 3, 2, and 1. Oh. All right, here's my stretch for this one. And the nice thing about when you get to have a bit of a stretch is, you can go through the water if you want. Even this is a great one. Listen to this. Give you a chance of heart rate to drop down too. Okay, so I can tick that one up. Push-ups, elevated hand. My next one says boxing, arms in front and pushing out. Okay, so why would I do that? It's a second chest one for me here. Okay, so I'm going to go out in front, and it's a shoulder, it's a delt workout. If you're blessed to have any kind of weight, yes, you may use them. I've got 2s here. There's absolutely no way in the world I could go any more than 2s after I've done that. But I have little 400 tins. We could do little 400 tins. The other week I had the milk cartons, like those Tetra Packs. You could take a Tetra Pack and use a Tetra Pack. You don't have to be standing. You could be kneeling in this one as well. So whatever feels comfortable. I like to do this as a single arm. So here's my row, here's my boxing punch. I bring it back in and I take it back down. And I'll explain to you why I like to do it as a single as opposed to a double. So I find, not only with myself, but with my clients, if I give them doubles, which I'll try now, this is okay. This often becomes not okay. We end up doing this to get them out. Okay. Or I start to see these shoulders go up here because of the double load. So keep form, and trust me, your body will thank you for the no injury. Injuries happen very, very easily. I was talking to a neighbour from my balcony onto her balcony the other day, and her husband was doing his yoga online, not mine. That's not part of the story. With somebody else. She thought she'd join in. She hadn't done yoga before. As a result, because she didn't quite know what she was doing, and maybe they weren't being cued properly because perhaps they were meant to know what they were doing, she has done damage to her shins and now can't go for her walks. I guess the moral to my story really is good form and doing things in alignment is crucial. Even something as simple as yoga, if not done correctly, you can easily do an injury. Alrighty, how are we going with this? It's not too bad actually. I reckon maybe easy. I don't know, 3 more on each of the arms. Here's 2. And 1. Now let's say I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to pop them down. We'll have a little shoulder stretch here. I'm thinking, I personally could have got out a lot more of those. So what I could either sit there and do another 20 and waste another 20 seconds of my life, or I could choose a heavier weight and do less repetitions. Okay. That would cut my time down, because I seriously think we're not time poor, a lot of us at this point in time, because we're quite blessed. Many of us have probably got a little bit more time up our sleeve. But do I want to be spending an hour doing my weights? I can tell you the answer for me, absolutely no way in this world. I have so much more better things to do than put in an extra half an hour into my weights program. I would rather go and do an extra half an hour of a walk. That's me personally. So let's be time efficient. That's so important. Because you know what? If it drags on, you're going to hate it. It's going to become a boring task, and then you're not going to do it because no joy in it. You're only going to stick with something if it's joyous, trust me, or that it gives you the results that you were looking for. That's why people stop things, because they don't see results straight away. We're very results driven, aren't we? You know, on so many levels. Excellent. All right, let's get 5 more of these out. Push 5. Alrighty. Now, how am I going to fix up these next few? Let's stay with the same arm. Okay, so can you see what's happening now? Ain't no rest for my left arm at all. Can I feel it fatiguing more now? Of course I can. 5 more on this single arm then. 3, because this other guy, he's having a super duper rest. 2. Now I can feel it. 1. Other side, straight up, straight out. Okay. So I'm really mindful here that I'm not letting that right shoulder get up there. Okay, it's right in line. My elbow's in line with my shoulder, and I'm driving it straight out. Straight up, straight out. And you're going to hang in there for 4 more. I reckon we've got that in us. 3, 2, 1 more, and 1, and done, and take a stretch. Often when we hold on to weights as well, we can, if we take what I call the death grip, change those arms, because the weights are so heavy that these forearms can get overworked and can become sensitive and really tight. So when you're doing your weights, also be mindful of, do I have the death grip on them? Because if I've got the death grip on them, my forearm, the rest of my arm, and no doubt that's going to lead up into my neck and my shoulders, just to do even something as simple as a bicep curl, which had nothing to do with a shoulder and a neck. Let's stay on this one with that repetitive notion. So straight up, straight out, because I'm going to give us 3 sets, but I want to really blast us on this last set. And I say blast very loosely. I mean, I really want us to fatigue quicker and not be here forever. Well, things to do. Alrighty, I can start to feel the strength building up into this left arm. And I think I've probably got about 4 more to go. So remember, you're not waiting for me. You're jumping over the other side if you need to. There's 3. Hang in there. 2. Or I can feel that towards the end. See how you psychologically psych yourself into those last couple? It's like, oh yeah, those last 2, they're so hard. But if I didn't tell you how many we're doing, oh, here we go. Nice bandsaw out the side. The real me. Welcome to the reality of life, hey? Nice. I can start to feel that heavy, warm sensation. And I can't, but I would be asking myself, am I seeing any changes in my form? Like, is it looking real sloppy? If it is, then I'm done. Okay. And I can see from the camera that my body's still quite upright, my trunk's still quite good. I'm not throwing myself around, but I have 1 more, I can feel it. Oh, yippee-yay. Done, dusted. We have some arms to do, biceps and triceps. Here's another little rule, another tidbit to know. If you work one muscle you must always work its opposing muscle. No use doing a whole heap of biceps if I don't marry it up and do triceps. There's no use me doing all this bench pressing if I don't work my back. No use working my quads if I don't work my hamstrings. Very, very, very important. It's where a lot of people get injuries because they have an imbalance in muscular strength between their front muscle and the back muscle. Very, very, very important. What are we going to do for tries? Well, easy peasy one, tricep push-ups, and I'm giving you that because most of you are yogis. And why do we need tricep push-ups? Plank lowering. I might choose to do it on the wall, would be my easier version, or I could do it on the floor. What's the general rule of thumb with a tricep push-up or a plank lower? My arms must glide by the side of my rib cage. Okay. There's none of this flapping around business. Okay, I see it. I see it in class a lot. Why do I see it? Because the triceps aren't strong enough. And that's okay. So where would I go with this? I would go to the point where I start to get the flap happening. And then I'm no longer strong enough, because what will happen? You were using these then. Okay, you're going to use your traps. And I talk about the, in Pilates, I talk about these hip flexors here. They get overworked, and when they don't know how to switch off, which these guys are candidates for, you are constantly going to have neck and shoulder pain because these guys are like bricks. So don't use them. Don't let them come in and help out. So if my tricep push-up got me to here and then I want to flap, then that's a tricep push-up for me. So it could be a flat back. Okay. A flat back version. You can see how my elbows are bending. They aren't going out to the sides like a push-up. My elbows are pointing towards my knees. This is the easiest version of a tricep push-up you can do. Trust me, it's going to make your plank lowering effortless. Okay, that's the easy version. More angle on the spine, stronger version. My hands are shoulder width. My arms are rubbing by my ribs. They are not flapping out and around. Good. Let's get 5 more. I reckon I've got about 5 in me. Two for me. Oh, yeah. Good, good. You know you stretch for this. Oh. Now, why are they already feeling a little bit fatigued or sore? Here's another one for you. You do this if you want to sit up. Because we still did some work with them out here. Okay, we still did some work on them. Perfect. Tries. Let's marry it up with some biceps. You've got cans or a weight or some weighted objects. And we all know that a bicep curl is basically a bend from the elbow and coming up to the shoulder. Okay. One thing it isn't. It's not it's not a thrust, and so therefore there's no movement at the shoulder. Okay. The movement is via the elbow, so it's basically fist to shoulder. Okay, so I always think if I had like a skewer through here, this guy wouldn't move. In this action, there are other versions, but very much making sure that the action doesn't come from the shoulder. We're going to do this one as an angle. Here's your options. Yes, you could use a ball. Yes, you could use a little ball. You'll collect your weights for me. Or you could literally just sit on an angle yourself. Okay. To the shoulders, back down to the floor. To the shoulders, a light tap here. Angle on my spine. Why? Because I want to use my core here, because I'm not going to do any ab work today because I have Pilates tonight, and I had Pilates yesterday, and for me I don't need to do any abs, but you definitely can. Heavier the weights, obviously the less number that you do here. So I've got 2s. These for me aren't very heavy. which would therefore mean I can get quite a few of these out. But the heavier the weight, the less repetitions that you need to do. Good, we've got 4, 3, then we'll go back into those tries, 2 and 1, we're done. Bis are a little bit of a trickier one to actually stretch. It's probably the best stretch that we have, is just pressing the bicep forward and trying to lengthen out through the front. So from here, let's go to back into those push-ups. Again, choose your form, and we're off. Awesome, I reckon 4 left in me. 3, 2, good, perfect, 1 more. Yeah. All right, head into your stretch. Again, either your little hands over or our above triceps. Set 2 are done. Right, let's go bis. I'm going to do it with you assuming that you don't have a ball. Freestyle. Core work, 100% here. I don't get that much core work when I stand. But if I wanted to, again, be time savvy, here's how I'm getting that ab work in. I can even do this. Well, let's coordinate it properly. I'm getting even more core work. Good. Or I can stay still. There's always multiple ways. Okay, here we go. I reckon I got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Alrighty. Bis, tries. Done. Tick, tick, tick. Here's my last one. Just to finish off in the back. I love doing back exercises where my shoulder blades squeeze together. Okay, they work a series of muscles called the rhomboids. The rhomboids keep the shoulder blades or the scapula very, very stable, and they help with our posture. So again, why do I also do my weights? To maintain strength in my posture. So if my back was not strong, I would do this because it can't hold me up. When my back is strong, those muscles allow me to be upright. Okay, so keeping musculature strong is very important for us to be posturally, let's call it posturally correct. A rowing action for the back. You could hold on to a chair. I have my chair over there, but let's assume my ball is my chair. And I call this the lawnmower. So I'm thinking I've got the starting rod of the lawnmower, the cord, and I'm pulling the cord. Okay. Where's my form here? This arm pulls into my body, it shaves my body, and it pulls out the back. It's this action. Now, if I'm conscious of it as well, I am still working my core here. And in the old days, when I used to train really heavy stuff, we would train for 15 minutes. That was max. We would go max weight and low reps. We would never do any core work because this is my core work now. I am drawing my belly into my spine so that I don't damage my back, and I don't need to do 300 sit-ups to work my core. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All I do is I switch that ball over. Again, I engage my core. How do I do it? I pull my belly into my spine and I am off and running again. So you can see here that my left side's getting a rest. So I can switch very, very quickly over to the other side. This isn't probably that time savvy. What would be more time savvy is my two arms pulling together. Good, 4, 3, 2, and 1. But at least here I know that I'm getting a nice little bit of refinement into that belly, that core here. And I could do less by having a stronger weight here, definitely. But again, I'm very, very mindful of my posture and my form here. 4 for me, I reckon. 3, you just change when you need to. You don't have to keep up with me. And 1. So if you can stay longer, go for it. Again, the idea of this action of pulling, I always like to remind myself, starting that lawnmower, I'm going to get that cord and I'm pulling it back. The elbow must go past the back of my ribs. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, I'm going to do 3 sets because I'm getting lots of rest in between. And this would be no different than if I was sitting upright and I was pulling my elbows into my waist, or I was at a cable, doing a cable row, sitting down. A lot more control in free weights than there is in machinery. I want to say that free weighted workouts require a lot more, do 3, 2, and 1, require a lot more intrinsic muscles to stabilize you. And a lot more, you need a lot more stability. So therefore, those stabilizing muscles have to work more. This is going to be our last one. Get 5, I think I got in this. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fab. We can have a stretch over our chair. We could back up against that wall and do the same. And I am a huge advocate, huge advocate of stretching. Come up and sit wherever, chair, floor. We know this pose, our eagle arms in yoga. This is to literally stretch that area that we were just working through. It is probably the area that most people neglect when they do their resistance work. Be it that you were working with a band or some weights. Let's change the arms. Why is it so important? Because what we're doing in weights is that we are putting the muscles under tension and we are putting them under stress. We need to de-stress them by stretching them. And we're working them. Okay. Set this arm behind. And because we're working them, we need to really stretch them. If you did constant weights, and you probably agree with me, you've seen people who don't stretch and they're like this, really tight, even though that they might be quite big, they're muscular. They are rigid in their movements, so they're not free-flowing in their movement. There's no sort of grace or, or ease with their going to the triceps in their movement. They're very sort of stiff, and that's because the muscles are so tight because they've worked them so much. They may have a lovely physique, or they may look toned or look as though that they have definitely been doing some weight work, but they certainly look that way too. They certainly are very are rigid in their movement. So it is so important to stretch after you've done them. So very important. Now, if you're sitting on something, you might take those legs out the front for a little bit of a hamstring stretch. You can come touch those toes, or you could hold on to, say, the shins and come forward here. This will give that lower back a nice stretch. It'll give the hamstrings a bit of a stretch for you as well. And the last one we'll do is a little quad stretch, because we did all of those lunges and all of the squats. And that's just a simple heel to bottom. You could stand or you could lie, either way. Where I see a lot of people go wrong with this is their quad stretch. And you see that my knee is in front of my thigh. That is not a quad stretch. This is a quad stretch where my two thighs are parallel to each other. Yep. And then if that's not enough, you can see that obviously my quads are quite flexible. Then to make that stronger, all I do is I tuck my pelvis under a little bit more. Yep, I realign this thigh and I pull my kneecap down to the floor. Change the legs. This will be our last one. So again, I'll show you. So that's not a quad stretch. Even that's not a quad stretch. That's a quad stretch. Thighs are parallel to each other. It doesn't matter that your heel does not get to your bottom, but at least keep your thighs parallel for me here. Don't muck around with this pelvis. Done. Alrighty, so that probably took us probably 40 minutes to do, but I did do a little chit chat for you. You can easily cut that down or fast forward it if you need to. Weights can be done at home. We don't have to necessarily be in the gym to do it. And you've got pretty much everything you need just by being able to use your body weight. I'm going to sign off because we've decided we'll start drilling again. Have an awesome day, awesome Thursday. Happy Thursday to you all. And I will see my yoga people on the yoga platform. Those who want to join us on the yoga platform, you are most welcome to. You just have to message me and pay your yoga fees. Or if you want to do Pilates, we've just started our 12-week Pilates. It's the same price as our 10 weeks. So you're getting 2 extra weeks and you're getting 36 classes for the price of our usual 10-week course. So lots and lots of value just by doing all of our stuff up online. My big intention is to give you way more than you ever got in the studio when you come online. So you'll have access to 8 classes a week live, and then all the ones that bank up behind it, they're all yours to watch whenever you want to. So there's so much more value doing it online than there is in the studio, simply because of the platform and the space that we're on, and it gives you lots of opportunities. So signing off, awesome